Welcome to Cathy's Eclectic Garden. I'm Cathy and I garden in Zone 6A in Northwest Ohio. And today we're not actually in the garden, we are in my grow room. And I'm going to be planting some flowers. We'll be right back. The first plant we're going to grow is Thumbelina zinnias. These will emerge in about 3 to 10 days. They are to be planted 1/4 inch deep, and what I like to do is when I fill my seed trays, which I've got all of my seed trays filled with soil already, pre-dampened soil, and I leave enough room at the top so I can just sprinkle the seeds on top and then go back and cover them. Try to put 2 to 3 seeds in each cell. These will get 1 to 2 feet tall. They will bloom all summer and into the fall. Now I'm going to start planting these, and I like to just take my envelope that the seeds come in, if they're in an envelope, and just go like this. Now another thing you need to be aware of is that seeds will germinate quicker if you use a seed starting mix. And I'm trying to get 2 to 3 seeds in each one of these. I'm not too particular about my seed starting mix because they're all pretty much the same. And you can use potting mix, but they don't germinate as well if you use potting mix. So I prefer the seed starting mix. Now I've got all my seeds in the trays, or in the cells, and I'm going to go across here with my seed starting mix and cover them. And like I said, I left about 1/4 inch headspace in each of the cells so I can come back and cover them. And we'll cover them just like that in each tray, or in each cell, so that they're all covered. And I just kind of tap that down just a little bit. Don't press it too hard because they need air circulation, so you don't want to get them too compacted. We'll just pack that down. And then I've just got a spray bottle with some water in it. I'm just going to lightly mist the top of this. I've got vermiculite, and this will help keep the soil from drying out. And I just sprinkle that on top like this. Give that another little squirt. And the one thing that you don't want to forget is to label it. I like to use these little plastic labels, and I always put the plant name and the variety, put the date that you planted it. Today is April the 13th, and I like to put on there the number of days that it takes for them to germinate, so I can know approximately when they're going to start poking through the ground. So we'll put that right in there. And then we cover it up with a tray cover, just like that. Now there's holes in this that you can open up to let air in. I don't do that until after they germinate. I use grow lights, so I will be putting this on my shelves back behind me on heat mats, and as soon as they germinate, the cover will come off and they will begin to grow. So that's the first plant. Next we're going to be planting Delphinium Butterfly Blend. They get 12 to 16 inches tall, and all of my flowers I'm planting today are planted 1/4 inch deep, and these should germinate in 12 to 16 days. And like the last ones, I've got my tray filled, and I'm just going to come in here and try to get a couple. And these are little teeny tiny seeds, so it'll probably be hard to get just 1 or 2 in there. But if you get more, you can always thin them. So we got those in there, and now I will come in and cover them like I did the last ones. And these need to be covered really well because they need to germinate better in the dark. So that's why they have to be covered up so good. Normally little tiny seeds like that, you don't cover them as much. And again, I've made my tag. We'll spray this a little bit. Put the vermiculite on to keep them from drying out as fast. Pop the tag in. And this dome helps keep the humidity in so that they don't dry out as fast. So we got the humidity dome on, and this one's ready to go. Some of the other flowers I'm going to be planting today, and I won't go through the whole process because I think those 2 trays you probably know how to do it now, is African marigold, crackerjack blend. Now I'm also going to be growing some French marigolds, but the seeds haven't come in yet. And the reason I like to grow French marigolds is because the French marigolds are great companion plants for tomatoes because they take care of the nematodes in the soil. Crackerjack blend gets 24 to 36 inches tall, and they make great cut flowers. And as you can see, they kind of look like pom-poms, so they would look great in a vase. I am also going to grow some scarlet flax, and that's for my hummingbirds because they really like that one. And I like Sweet Alyssum. This is the Tiny Tim variety. I grow that as a filler plant to just fill in places in my flower pots and even in my garden in places. And the bees love that one. Another one that I really like is called Love in a Mist. And this one is African Bride. So I'll be planting some of those. I've got some seeds left over from last year from Renee's garden. That's a Mexican sunflower, and the pollinators really like that one. Another one I'm going to be growing as a companion plant to ward off pests in my garden is nasturtiums. So I will be planting those, and I believe that's it. I do want to mention lighting if you're going to be growing inside. I've got a setup in my basement. I've got shelving and lights. These are not grow lights. These are shop lights that I got at a big box store. You want to get, if you can get these for around $15, $20 a light. And the ones I have are 10,000 lumens. You need to have a minimum of 5, and I would recommend if you can get 6 or 10, to the brighter the better, and there's not that much difference in the price. They work really well. I've had really good luck with them. The 2 on the bottom, if my photographer can get to the ones on the bottom, those are actual grow lights. And I can't tell that they do any better. I got those first before I knew about the shop lights. And I started using the shop lights, and I can't tell that the growth is any better with the grow lights than it is with the shop lights. Now you're probably going to say, oh, but you've got big plants under those grow lights. That's because they've been there longer. The stuff on the top 2 shelves I've just planted in the last couple of days, so they haven't had time to grow. So just go to your local big box store and go to the lighting section and tell them you want garage lights, 6 to 10,000 lumens, and use those to grow your plants. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video and maybe learned a little something from it. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.